Hey friends, welcome back to
productivity system where I can capture all my notes, ideas, and tasks, track my life.
Even though I love these guys and I truly admire their detailed and complex productivity systems, but my brain just isn't wired for that. I just like to keep things as simple as possible, while staying productive and motivated enough to achieve almost any of my goals. And I've created a simple 3-step system for that I will be sharing with you today. My name is Stefan and I'm a full-time YouTuber traveling the world. And I often find myself juggling between writing, editing and creating videos, running a coaching program, working with cool brands, hitting the gym 4 times a week, sleeping 8 hours a day, giving my girlfriend enough attention, hang out with friends and family, read books, listen to podcasts, all while being constantly on the move. So as you can imagine, I need a good system to stay as productive and motivated as possible, but also simple enough to spend almost 0 time maintaining that system. And I like to call that system monk mode for normal people. Now I know even monk mode may sound intimidating to some people, but I've simplified the whole monk mode system into 3 simple steps. And then I've combined all 3 steps into an easy to use monk mode template for Notion that I will be sharing with you later in this video. And also I'm really excited to announce that this video is sponsored by Notion, but more on that later. First, the 3 steps. And with every step, I'm just going to share the 20% of things you can do that will get you 80% of the results. Step 1. Fix the basics. Monk mode is nothing else but a period of discipline, isolation and focus so you can effectively work on a single goal. But in order to effectively work, you need to first fix the basics. Here's how you do it. First of all, do no harm. Quit drugs, quit weed, quit alcohol, and yes, even just 1 to 2 glasses a week can negatively impact your health and your productivity. Huge shout out to Huberman to set off this new trend of people quitting alcohol completely.
I'd love to be able to tell you otherwise, but that's just a fact.
And also quit cheap dopamine. And with cheap dopamine, I mean video games, pornography, sugar, TikTok, social media. Because here's the thing with cheap dopamine. The more you indulge into cheap dopamine, the harder it will become to do just productive work sitting behind a laptop and working on your goals. However, get rid of cheap dopamine, the boring work itself will become rewarding. Working on your own dreams will become enjoyable. That's what we want. And then the next one, sleep. And this one is so key. Basically, if you sleep less than 7 hours a night, there's no way you can be as productive as you could be. Plus, it's really bad for your health. Sleeping less than 7 hours a night raises your chance of getting cancer, cardiovascular diseases, increases the chance of getting dementia, and many more. I highly urge you to read the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Brilliant guy, brilliant book, and it really opened my eyes to the importance of getting 8 hours of quality sleep every single night. And getting a good night's sleep actually starts in the morning. As soon as you wake up, try to get some sunlight in your eyes, because this will set your circadian rhythm, which will keep you focused throughout the day, but also help you fall asleep easier that following night. Also, try to follow the 3-2-1 rule, which is basically no food 3 hours before bed, no drinks 2 hours before bed, and no screens 1 hour before bed. Next up is nutrition, and it's very simple. Try to eat as clean as possible, meaning whole foods, no processed foods. I also like to practice intermittent fasting, which basically means no food until noon. And this helps me stay focused in the morning. And when you do have the first meal of the day, try to keep it as low carb as possible, because the more sugar and the more simple carbs there are in your breakfast or your first meal, the higher the energy crash will be afterwards, which will make it harder to be productive that day. Because when I had a big breakfast in the morning, there's no way I can be as focused as if I just drink black coffee and water and nothing else. Talking about coffee, I know some people view it as drugs and quit caffeine completely, but to be honest, I really love black coffee. I drink 2 to 3 cups every single day, and I've read scientific papers that drinking 2 to 3 cups a day is actually really good for your health, as long as you don't drink any coffee after noon, because it might mess up the quality of your sleep that night. I like coffee, what can I say? And another no-brainer obviously is exercise. I don't have to spend a lot of time explaining why it's good for your health, for your body, but it's also good for your brain. Try to keep a balance between strength training and cardiovascular exercise, which is good for your heart and your brain. It will make it easier to keep focused. It's good for your dopamine levels, for your hormone levels. And the last one is having a good morning routine. Now, I'll be honest, the best morning routine is wake up and do actual work. But sometimes it's really difficult to roll out of bed and go into work mode straight away. So what I like to do is when I wake up, I either go for a morning walk or a morning run to get some sunlight in my eyes, and to get some exercise to wake up my body, obviously. After that, I take a cold shower. This is a great way to really wake up and stay focused, and it does amazing things to your dopamine levels throughout the day. Even better if you have an ice pad. Would love to have one, not yet. And after that, I sit behind my desk, I do a quick journal. So how do I feel? A couple of things I'm grateful for. And what is the one thing I need to accomplish today to call it a good, productive day? That's it. That's my simple morning routine. I know some people like to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym and fucking solve quantum theory before they start working. I'm not like that. So I just do morning walk or run, cold shower, journal for a couple of minutes, do the work. It doesn't take me more than 30 minutes, the whole morning routine. And those are basically the most important things you can fix. Because trust me, if you don't fix your basics first, it's like going through life in ultra hard mode. Fix the basics and life and work becomes way easier. And the next way, and arguably the most important way to make life and work way more easier, is to know your why. Because if you don't know your why, then why are you actually working? What are you really working on? And if you don't have an answer to those questions, then you might find yourself hustling hard in monk mode, but in reality, you're just doing random, non-important busy work like answering some emails, hopping on calls with people, but that's not monk mode, my friend. That's monkey mode. You need to channel your precious energy and focus into one singular goal. And here's how to do that. I'm going to open up my monk mode Notion template so I can show you how to determine the single goal you should be working on and how to get into monk mode. Oh, and if you don't know what Notion is, by the way, it's a productivity tool that I've been using for years already. So when Notion reached out recently to ask if they can sponsor this video, I was thrilled to say yes, because I've been using them for years already, and I was planning on making this video anyway, whether they sponsor this video or not. Don't tell them. So for the ones that don't know, Notion is an easy to use all-in-one platform to actually commit to your goals this year. And I truly view it as a blank canvas. You can make anything you want out of Notion. You need a to-do list? Easy. You want to connect the to-do list to your calendar? You can do that. You want to use Notion as a collaboration platform where you can invite team members and then define tasks together and track the progress? Yeah, you can do that. But what I like the most is that you can completely customize it any way you want. You can add photos, you can design the whole page exactly how you want it, and you can automate absolutely anything in Notion because it connects to so many other tools out there. It's absolutely crazy. So let's dive into my monk mode Notion template so I can show you how I stay productive and motivated almost every single day. As you can see, this is the monk mode homepage. And at the bottom, you will see the 4 steps that the monk mode system is comprised of. The first 3 are used to define your why, exercises and templates to actually figure out what you're going to work on. And the last one, the monk mode cycle, is actually planning out your week and your day to work on the one thing. But before we go through the steps in the template, we need to enter monk mode by listening to the official monk mode music playlist on Spotify. Obviously, I can't play Spotify music without getting a copyright strike on YouTube. I've added this cool song instead. Anyways, let's go to step 1, the dream life. Now, if you've watched my videos, then you'll know how I hammer on defining your dream life. And with dream life, I mean this vision of your life about 5 years from now, where everything is perfect. And it's good to do this exercise to write down what a day in the dream life of yours would look like, because it helps you in 3 ways. First of all, it gives you direction. Then it will also give you attainability. Sometimes your dream life is not that far out there. It might be something that's actually achievable within 1 or 2 years. But again, if you never take the time to sit down and write down what a day in your dream life looks like, you'll never realize that. And the last one is motivation. Trust me, there will be periods where you lack motivation, where you don't feel like working. But when you remember why you're doing the things you're doing, at least for me, it helps me to get motivated again and do actual work. So in this page, I've created a short block where you can write down what a day in the life of your dream life would look like. There's some tips in here, and there's a small vision board at the end to visualize that dream life. So once you've defined your dream life, it's time to go to the next page, which is the one thing. And the one thing is basically a distillation of your dream life into one big goal you need to achieve by the end of this year to bring you closer to your dream life. And there's a cool exercise I've put into the template. If you could rate your life in 4 areas, being health, wealth, relationships, and happiness or spirituality, how would you rate yourself? And then do the same in this dream life version of yours. How would you rate yourself in the dream life? And then ask yourself, where's the biggest gap? And that will probably give you some sort of guidance on what the one thing should be for you to focus on this year. Because trust me, If you're really fat and unhealthy and don't exercise, don't focus on starting a business and building side hustles and whatever. Focus on your health first. That's the biggest gap. That will be the one thing for you this year. So once you've defined the one thing, it's now time to translate that further into your master plan. And with master plan, I mean divide the one thing into 3 measurable goals you need to achieve in order to achieve the one thing, and keep it at 3 big goals. Once you've done that, define the actions you need to take to actually achieve that goal. You want to see something cool, by the way? Notion recently added the AI functionality, which is crazy. Here's an example of how you can use it. So let's say you're struggling with translating the one thing into 3 measurable goals for the year. You could ask the AI to translate that for you into 3 goals. Let me show you. First, we define the one thing again. That one thing. Big goal number 1, increase video output to 3 times per week. For each of the 3 big goals, you will need to break them down into actionable plans. Okay, 3 goals down into actionable plans. Create a content class. This is crazy. This is doing the work for you. Actionable plan 1. Create a content calendar for the next 6 months with video topics and upload dates. This is making the whole plan for you. Notion AI is crazy. ChatGPT? ChatGPT who? Now, it's probably connected to ChatGPT through an API, but any case. So now the next thing to do is break down those big goals into monthly goals. And since we have 9 actionable plans here, we could say those are monthly goals we need to achieve. Once you've done that for every month of the year, for the current month, I want you to break down the current month's goal into weekly goals you can do. So if the current month's goal is create a content calendar for the next 6 months with video topics and upload dates, for this week, we could research 50 potential video ideas. And so for the next week, based on that little research, we can come up with titles plus thumbnail concepts. And then for the next week, plan out every single video with upload dates. That's it. You have 4 weekly goals and they all lead up to the monthly goal of creating a content calendar for the next 6 months with video topics and upload dates. Now that you have set those weekly goals, it's time to actually do the work. We are now entering the monk mode cycle. When we go to page number 4 of our monk mode Notion template, this is what you will see. On the left, you will see your monthly goals. We can repeat the same goal that we've just talked about. And on the right, you can find a reminder for your basics. So sleep 8 hours a day, work out 4 times per week, 4 hours of deep work in the morning are really key to me. Once you've done that, it's time to actually start your week. This is what it looks like. Your weekly calendar. You might have seen this before in some of my videos, but basically I want to remind myself of what the goal for the week is, brainstorm 50 video ideas. And I like to give my week a title or theme, so when I can look back, I know exactly what was going on in that week. So let's call it brainstorming week. I don't know, in Cape Town. I'm in Cape Town right now. Brainstorming week in Cape Town. So it's now Thursday. I always start my day with a fast check-in. 3 things I'm grateful for. Practicing gratitude is really key to enjoying the journey. As I said, it's not about reaching all those ambitious goals and like hustling hard. It's about enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. When you do that by practicing gratitude. Now it's time for the one thing. And now I mean the one thing. I mean the one thing I need to complete today to call it a good productive day. Then I have a little bit of free flow. Sometimes I feel like writing down like a journal entry or maybe brainstorming some ideas for videos, whatever I feel like writing down. It's called free flow for a reason. And then at the end of the day, I like to do a little reflection. It's actually really key. If you answer those questions at the end of the day, you should have this feedback loop of where you're improving every single day. And now the cool thing is, once you're finished with this week and you go back, this week will be added to the archive. Next week, when you start a new monk mode cycle with a new weekly goal, you click on new week and it will open up a new week for you and start the whole process all over again. Monk mode, hell yeah. And now the week is added here. And that's basically it. My whole monk mode system in Notion. So starting from your dream life, into the one thing, into 3 big goals, into the actual monk mode cycle. So you know exactly what you're working on as effectively and as efficiently as possible. Again, a huge shout out to Notion for sponsoring this video and just being an awesome platform. I can honestly say they changed my life for the better for the last couple of years by making me more productive, more motivated, and just making my life a lot easier. And I'm 100% convinced that they can change the lives of many others, which is why I said yes to working together with Notion. If you want to get started with Notion for free, there's a link in the description. And if you want to get my monk mode template, there's a link in the description as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.